Welcome back to the channel, Seymour Rosie. In any RV trip, sometimes you have unexpected things that arise and cause you to be delayed a little bit. And this video demonstrates one of those cases on our trip that was to be from Carmax to Big Creek Campground there in the Yukon Territory. In the meantime, we'll roll the intro. Welcome to the Seymour Rosie channel. Hi, my name is Dave and this is my wife Vicki, and we started our RV adventures in 2020, and in 2023 we went to Alaska and we enjoyed it that much that in 2025 we decided to go back. So we hope you can join us as we travel between Pennsylvania and Alaska and return. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Good morning out there. It's 9:52 in the morning. We are southbound for just left the town of Dawson City, Yukon, and we're southbound for Carmax. It's cloudy outside, a little chilly this morning, 49 degrees, what the outside temperature is. And, the road's okay, it's not great, the road's okay. We had a great time yesterday in Dawson, just an awesome little town that's just touristy enough, but not over the top like some of the better known and more popular sites in Alaska and the Yukon. So I'll let you look around a little bit through the raindrops. We have a little bit of drizzle out here this morning. The drive from Klondike Campground to Carmax was uneventful. The road isn't bad. It's not great, but it's better than what the Alaska Highway is. And we arrived at the Carmax Hotel and got set up on our campsite. And I took a picture of the rig here just to show you how dirty they get. The next morning, we set out and we wanted to go 551 kilometers or 342 mile to our next campground that we had planned was Big Creek Campground there in the Yukon Territory. As we traveled south that morning, it was a very beautiful day, bluebird day, nice weather. The roads are okay. They're not great, but it's better than the Alaska Highway. And as we traveled along, the scenery was absolutely stunning and beautiful. And the fall colors were starting to come out. And as we traveled along a little bit further, I felt something in the engine. It was just missing ever so slightly. I said something to Vicki and she said, well, I don't feel it. And we kept driving. And up until this point, today and previous days, the engine was running flawlessly. And the further we went, the more pronounced this miss got. And we kept driving alongside this beautiful scenery, this beautiful lake. And this lake was called Fox Lake, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The further we drove, the more pronounced the mist got. And about 30 miles after Fox Lake, I saw this scene. But you notice there is no shoulder to pull over on the side of the road. And I was starting to look for one now. And as we approached this place, I saw a right turn lane, and then there was a wide shoulder. So I decided to pull over to the side of the road, and I'm pulled over right opposite those mailboxes there. As soon as I got to truck stop, I jumped out, popped the hood, and noticed oil blowing up on the underneath side of the hood and knew it wasn't good. I called Elite Diesel there in Whitehorse to see whether or not I could get some assistance that day right on site. And they told me that unfortunately they were moving from one physical location to another, and it was the Friday before Labor Day, as I think I've already said. And a man pulled over in a black SUV right in front of us, right after I pulled over, and he came back and said if you hadn't stopped, I was going to flag you down. He told me that he thought perhaps I had a brake hanging up, and I said, no, unfortunately, my problems are a lot greater than a brake hanging up. And after discussing, Vicki and I decided we were going to spend the weekend right here where that truck is parked, and started to back into that location. And as I was backing in, a pickup truck showed up alongside of me, and here it was that same man, Greg. He had run to his home, dropped the car, grabbed his pickup truck, and came down and said, "Let me get a hold of that thing. I live about a mile away. I've got a driveway you can park it in." And when I said, "Well, we'll probably be there till Tuesday," he said, "I don't care." So that's what we did. We let Greg pull our trailer to his driveway. We put the truck here. I got a hold of Tommy Hassler of Hassler Diesel in Bethel, Pennsylvania, and Tommy suspected I had bad fuel, and he said the oil leak would not have caused the miss or the stumble, that I should change the fuel filters. So Greg knew all this, and Greg said, "Here's my car. Use my car and go to Whitehorse, get the parts you need to try to fix your truck." So I did that yesterday. We changed both fuel filters, the one down on the frame rail and the one up on top and up in the engine bay. And the truck started after that, and I thought perhaps it would run good enough to be able to continue our trip. But I did not have confidence because nowhere could I find where the oil was leaking. When it started the truck, I didn't have an oil leak. So this morning I went out and finished installing the air cleaner and happened to see a little bit too much blow-by coming out of a breather tube that leads to the air cleaner from the crankcase. So I took the cap off first I just loosened the cap like I had seen Dave's Auto Center do on many a video on his YouTube channel. And I noticed that the cap didn't just sit there, it had a lot of wobble, or in other words, blow-by. I'll include a short video clip of it here. So then I took the cap off of the oil, where you add oil completely, and it looks like a mini steam engine, puff and smoke, and I'll include a video of that here. So I then got a hold of Tommy. Called me back and he said, "I hate to tell you this, Dave, but he said you've got big trouble." That he thought that the bad fuel had caused an injector to go bad, and the injector then burn a hole in the piston. He said, "You've definitely got one bad piston in that engine with that much blow-by. You're going to need major work done." On Tuesday the 2nd, I was able to get up and go to the diesel shop, Elite Diesel, and talk to Dustin, and he didn't think I would hurt the engine any to go ahead and drive it to the shop. So I did that. And at that time, he had just moved from one facility to another. His shop was in complete disarray. He didn't think he would get to look at our truck and just do a diagnosis until a week. He said, "I'll let you know next Monday what's going on." I said, "Okay." I got a text message on Wednesday afternoon, "Hey, we're doing diagnosis on your truck." And I was elated, and that was an answer to prayer. The diagnosis showed a badly cracked piston in cylinder number 5. So at that point, we looked at what to do and discussed all the possibilities, and we settled on buying a rebuilt long block, which is the whole motor, out of Edmonton in Alberta. But they called to discuss delivery times and everything, and discovered the engine would need to be built, and it would take 6 weeks to get it shipped and another week or so to get here. So that was not a viable option, because this campground closes the 30th of September, as most campgrounds in the Yukon, in fact, north of the Canadian border, a lot of them are going to be closed. So we looked at other possibilities and was going to have Tommy Hassler ship me a short block. Tommy was pulling some strings to be able to get it shipped as early as Monday, this coming Monday, which would be about the 7th or 8th of September. But in talking to Dustin, Dustin of Elite Diesel, he said, "Dave, you won't get that thing in a week. It'll probably be 2 weeks at best to be able to get it, perhaps 3, which means we're again at the end of September. So in conversation between Tommy Hassler of Hassler Diesel there in Bethel, Pennsylvania, and Dustin of Elite Diesel here in Whitehorse, the decision has been made that Dustin has a used motor that he took out of a truck. He knows its history, and he's going to put that engine in our truck and ship my old engine to Hassler Diesel. And we are going to go home with this used engine. Once we get home, I'm going to have Tommy put everything back together and put that engine in our truck so that we again have an engine. We know its history and we know what's going on, and I will probably look to sell the used 6-liter diesel that we're getting installed here in Whitehorse. Does it run?
I'm just waiting for coolant. We were low on coolant, so Kevin just went to go get the coolant. As soon as we get the coolant, we're ready to fire up. So
that's what the...
Yeah, for sure.
My hat's off to you. I worked as a mechanic, but I wouldn't want to take one of these apart and put them back together.
It seems very overwhelming. It used to overwhelm me a lot, but you kind of grow and you get used to it. Like, you start to learn that even if you have stuff you don't know where it goes, just start putting together what you have, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's where this goes. Oh, that's where this goes. And once you do enough of them, you kind of get the confidence. And I mean, I stay organized a certain way too when I take them apart, so it helps me get things together, right? So I was more of a Dodge guy, so last couple of years I've been pretty hardcore into these 6-liters now. So I think this is the third one in the last 2-3 weeks I've had the cab off doing big repairs. So
I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, I'm super close, so I'm excited to go for a drive and make sure everything's good.
We got the truck back late in the day on September the 17th, a Wednesday, and Dustin advised us to put some miles on it and see how it runs. And I made the mistake of not hooking it up to the trailer and pulling a load with it and seeing how it goes, and then unhooking and going back because we needed to load the old engine in the back of the truck to transport to Bethel, Pennsylvania. And I did not hook it up, and we got about 50 miles down the road when I noticed that the truck just did not have enough of power and it was not producing any boost on the turbo. And we called Dustin up and he said, come on back, he'll take a look at it. He put a scanner on it, and Dustin determined that the solenoid on the turbo in the truck was no good. So we took the one out of the motor we were trucking back to Bethel, Pennsylvania, and put it in this one. Dustin changed it hot, and I was greatly appreciated because we got back on the road, and we stopped that night at a very beautiful boondocking spot. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you appreciate this video, and we'll see you on the next one.